Okay, now that should make everything a little bit better. Apologies for the slight delay. Things were being a bit of a pill on our end. But nonetheless, we are here, and thank you all for joining us. This is the Docs Fox. Hope you guys are enjoying your evening tonight. This is the premiere of our first show called Heavy ARTillary. Heavy ARTillary, what is that? Well, Heavy ARTillary is an art show dedicated to artists all over. From digital artists to clay artists to whichever and whoever would like to speak with us for the most part. For the most part, we're going to be talking with people who have established themselves within various communities, furry, art, major media, film, whatever happens to be available to us, because we're not very well known. Nonetheless, the whole idea behind Heavy ARTillary is to just put an emphasis on the creators themselves. Creators are of vital importance to any medium because it's what brings life to that medium. And as a result, we are trying to bring out those different artists and give them some of the recognition that they are due deserved. That said, we're going to keep things fairly simple for today. Our first guest, who really isn't a guest but is actually my co-host, is a lovely lady from California. She has spent a majority of her life dedicated to the arts in finding not only her niche in it, but also her calling. She is the art director for both this show. She is the primary artist for our comic. She is a radio broadcaster and DJ, and formerly and currently the managing director at Serenity Woods. And of course, her art, being as inspirational as it is, has nothing to how she has appealed to my heart. That said, I'd like to introduce you to Spyri Tomorrow, my wife.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, yep, hear you now.
All right, good.
Excellent, perfect. As I said, this is a bit of a work in the progress. Our equipment is... We got the equipment that we want, and we're still working on a couple things to get things all situated. Nonetheless, this is my wife, Spyri, and as I said before, the art that you are seeing on the side there is her art right there. How are you doing tonight?
A bit flustered, to
Yeah.
be honest.
These
Took a
hiccups...
bit of finagling earlier.
Yeah, we're having like I said, we're having a couple little hiccups. We kind of rushed the scene that we have displaying at the moment, and it didn't get completely portrayed fully. But nonetheless, we have the important elements in place. That said, I see we have a couple of viewers here. That's wonderful. By all means, this is not a one-way show. We are very interactive. So if you have any questions for Spyri as we go along, while I give her some different questions, by all means, feel free to interact with us. You can talk in Discord. If you have me on, or sorry, you can talk in Twitch, or if you have my message in Discord, you can do that too. Nonetheless, let's see. Let's get started here. So, we do have various examples of your work. The first one that we have right now, actually, looks like a commission that we did some time ago. What's this?
It's a few months ago. A commission done for Nova. His persona is a skunk.
Mm-hmm.
And we wanted to portray him as a character within our world for our comic.
That's right. I believe he decided to take the full package, which includes not only the line art, not only the flat coloring and the detailed coloring, but also an entire background that fits the mythos of the comic, right?
Indeed.
Indeed. And this one turned out really well done. I think it took you, what was it, maybe a little less than 2 weeks to finish?
Mm, yeah, I would say just about that.
Yeah, right around 2 weeks. So, and that was one of the various high cost commissions that you've received.
Hey there, Wolfsinger.
Yep. Hey, Wolf. See, Wolf is even paying attention while he's doing his musical set. Isn't that wonderful?
So sweet.
Indeed. So, going into that, so what brought you into the art world? Like, where did you get your motivation from? What kind of stoked the fire to bring you into doodling as much as you do?
Oh my god. Well, I would say that my grandmother actually played a big role in that. I would go and visit her every summer, and this lady was the most creative and active woman I've ever met.
Now, when you say creative, what kind of creativity are we talking here?
She'd always be hands-on, whether it would be baking, doing crafts. She did a lot of photography, a lot of cooking.
So she did a lot of hodgepodge things all put together. What do you say that of her actions most inspired you to start taking up your own form of art?
Well, every time I visited her, she would be always pushing, not in a negative way, but
Right.
she would always be encouraging trying new things. And it just so happened that whenever we'd go and visit her in the summer, she always had some sort of craft for me to try. And as things went on, I discovered that I tended to lean more towards paper and pen and hand and doodling, and it kind of just grew from there.
So she put the proverbial smorgasbord at you, and you kept going to seconds towards your drawing.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, she got me into other things too. Sports.
Mm-hmm.
I used to play a lot of tennis, and I actually did a lot of swimming and was a lifeguard for a little while. But it just didn't really strike that fire in me as much as drawing did.
What would you say the fire for drawing really drew you to wanting to pursue that further outside of your grandmother? What kept that passion alive?
Well, when I wasn't visiting her, my dad was also a big encouragement, and I didn't really spend a whole lot of time with my dad. It was every other weekend I'd go and visit him, but he loved to take me to the comic book shop.
Mm-hmm.
And so every time we went, I got to bring home something.
So
and
you would say that him bringing you to the comic store really helped fuel your background towards wanting to make your own
for
comic.
sure, yes. And usually I was more interested in what he was reading than what I picked up. But he was actually the one who got me into manga and anime because he's a big Ghibli Studio fan.
Studio Ghibli, yes.
Uh-huh,
Which
yeah.
I think I told you this earlier, but you know that Ghibli is putting out 2 films this year, right?
Yes, I heard about that. But
Yeah.
I don't think that either of them are in Hayao Miyazaki's style. I think they've kind of drifted off into a new kind of styling for their 2 new movies.
Right. If I understand correctly, the studio itself is trying to not just utilize the name for Mr. Miyazaki, but also to try and make its own impact, having been under his tutelage for so long. Would that be fair to say?
I suppose so. There was one person from his studio that worked really for a very long time with Miyazaki, and he branched off and created his own studio, Studio Ponok, I think it's called.
And that's the one who did
Mary and the Witch's Flower.
Mary and the Witch's Flower, and that other one that we saw too, which was The one we both started crying at.
We cried? You cried?
we both did. We both were tearing up at it.
Oh, you were?
Remember my name or something? Or your name?
Yes, I think that was somebody else, though.
Oh, was it?
I think he was also part of the company, but I'm pretty sure that was somebody else.
Yeah, I could have. I thought I remembered him being also.
Don't quote me on that, because I'm not entirely certain.
Right, I'm not quite sure either if that was the case or not. But nonetheless, I do remember reading something about him being being mentored by Mr. Hiyazaki inside of his studio too. Mm-hmm. Nonetheless, so that said, we're looking at this one piece right here. Is there any other pieces that you're particularly proud of? Since we don't.
Well, I have a lot.
Right.
But then at the same time, for a comic, it feels so minimal.
Of course.
When I find myself comparing my expanse of work next to other artists, I feel like it's just really, really tiny.
Right, and as it is too, we haven't had much of a means to actually start growing that passion until recently due to real life challenges and other things that have gotten in the way. As we both know, our real lives are going to have to take precedence over certain things.
Of course.
Now we're at the point where we can start juggling some of those extra parts, especially with the comic. You've been wanting to do a comic for most of your life, but we've only started, within the last 4 years?
Right.
Right. But now...
That was definitely something that kind of grew from high school. I wanted to do a comic with some friends, and they were very interested in doing it too. It's just, it was mostly talk, and then people flaked out, and that whole shebang. Right.
People get this great idea. They'll be saying things like, oh, wouldn't this be great? But no one actually wanted to put the pedal to the floor.
Yeah, it does take a lot of effort, and I'm so impressed by a lot of the people that I follow. I recently read quite a few webtoons.
Mm-hmm.
And
who would you say that you find yourself reading or going to more often than others?
Not sure what you mean.
Like, what particular artists or comic writers or authors that you tend to lean towards, like when you're wanting to find something to start building up your passion to motivate you to work towards your own project?
I actually have tried to not attach myself to any particular name. I go to different comics for the story and for the art and what I can find appreciative of what I'm feeling out of when I'm looking at it.
Gotcha. Understood. That said, we were going to kind of break down some of your approach to coming towards this style. Now, notably, you're what people would call a furry artist, but I know that we have a different term for it rather than being furry.
We like to call it anthro art.
Right. We like to call it anthro art because whether we like to admit it or not, furry kind of has a bit of a negative connotation.
Well, for some. Not all.
For some. Not all. Yeah, exactly. We just happen to have a bit more of an appreciation for art that does have some tendencies towards realism and direction, something a bit more gritty, as it were. That said, how did you approach this for Nova Fox or Nova Skunk?
It was a series of steps. It started with a sketch,
mm-hmm.
and then I would have to confirm whether or not Nova wanted certain elements.
Do you
and
have
then I'd
that?
have to take away from it if something didn't quite agree.
Right. Do you have that line art available?
I believe I do. Now, I'm kind of afraid to touch this piece because there are a lot of layers involved.
If there's anything that my
I
wife is
am not
notable
organized
for, she's
with
not.
my layers.
She's more organized than she believes that she is, but she also uses a ton of layers. Like even when she just draws like a little supportive line, she'll add a layer.
I can't begin to tell you how many times this program has crashed on me because I don't condense enough.
Well, I mean that wouldn't be that wouldn't be the worst problem that we've had tonight. So if it crashes, I don't think that's
I'm not
gonna.
worried about it crashing right now.
Right.
I think maybe what I'll do is I'll just pull up some line art
Okay.
on a different file because I think I have it.
Sure.
Give me a sec.
Now, with that being said, we keep talking about this comic that we mentioned over and over again. I guess while you're pulling that up, I'll talk a little bit about the comic. The comic itself goes in line with our emblem, as you can see up there. All of our stuff is based under Tales of Tomorrow, which is why you'll see a lot of TOT stuff or similar to that. This show, being a side project of the comic, is, tomorrow's today. And since myself and Spyri here are the tomorrows, that's how we came up with the naming convention. And thus, that's how Heavy ARTillary was born. We wanted to have an appreciation for art just outside of our, not just within our world, but for other folks as well. So, we're looking for all sorts of different artists who wish to participate or want to, have some fun with this, because we're not here to just talk your ears off. We're here to be interactive and also to see what you, as viewers, can do yourself. So if you look in your Twitch down below, we have added a public Dropbox. And what that public Dropbox is for you to submit your own fan art, or if you are an artist and you would like to, get the third degree of different questions, as I'm subjecting Spyri to.
We'd also love it if we could interact too.
Exactly.
Maybe pull up some sort of group whiteboard and do some drawing collaboratives there. That'd
Exactly.
be really fun.
And something else we're going to be doing as well, not just doing interviews, but we're going to play some games as well. And if you wish to participate in it, by all means, we welcome it. We want to see what you are capable of producing as well, because art is not just a singular purpose or a one-sided event. Art is meant to be shared and displayed and recognized for the achievement and the what's the word I'm looking for? The enjoyment of all parties, regardless of who likes it and who doesn't. Everyone has their own little tastes and what they like, but nonetheless, it's all meant to be appreciated. So if you have established yourself as an artist and you want to try your own stuff and have it viewed by us and see our opinions on it, we're not here to critique or say that things are bad or anything. We want to see what you're capable of. So by all means, let us know. We'll make sure that it's portrayed fair use wise, so that no one's going to try and take it for you. We'll make sure that your stuff is protected as well. That said, like I said, the Dropbox below is where you can submit things, and then we also plan on later off in the hour, if not today, then other hours, actually playing some games where you can be involved as well. Not just on like a drawing board, but things like Drawful and a couple other Jackbox games where you can participate, because everyone has fun with those different little party games.
I've been dying to go back to Drawful
Yes,
and
she
Jackbox.
has. She keeps bugging me. When are we going to do some more Jackbox? We're behind on Jackbox games. We have 1, 2, and 3. We need to get 4, 5, and 6, and we haven't touched them in a long time. So anyways, now that we have the line art. Oh, hey, Fetus. Welcome.
Hey there.
For sure. Yep. By all means, go ahead. You're good. Do what you got to do. Now, as I was gonna say, with your line art, how did you approach this? How did you come to start with this kind of a design? We knew that Nova was a skunk. We knew that he wanted to be portrayed in our world. What else?
He asked for some sort of sophisticated-looking spy. I believe.
I see. Sorry, I got caught up reading the chat. I think we have a bot. And yeah, I think that's a little odd. Let's see about getting rid of those. I don't like those. Anyway, so you said that he wanted to have a sophisticated look, and what else?
And that he's a spy.
Oh, that he's a spy. Okay, gotcha. So,
Yeah, because we were trying to fit the role within the world,
right.
we decided to give him a little bit of a backstory.
Good. So what made you decide to have him like postured like this and to add the extra features of the table and the chair?
I knew that he wanted something relaxed. He mentioned that he wanted his character to smile, and I didn't want to do anything too dynamic.
Right.
As we've done that for a lot of other characters that we've done.
Mm-hmm.
For him, it just felt fitting for his character and the calm nature that he was kind of presenting in his description of his character.
Mm-hmm. So when you got done with the line art, like what did you find the most difficult part regarding getting his character drawn? Like where did you find
The background?
Well, aside from the background.
The character himself, you mean?
Right, the character himself. Like, do you remember any particular parts where you felt like proportions weren't turning out right, or certain
His
folds?
legs. I prefer to do digi. I know that there's a lot of furry artists out there, or anthro artists, whichever you prefer, that like to draw them more humanized.
Right, and you mean by digi, you mean by digigrade,
Yes.
where the ankles bend backwards and the broad part of the foot is angled down. Yeah.
Right. It was just mostly about getting that positioning right so that it looked natural.
Now, I did notice this, and I had meant to ask you this, but regarding the foot choices that you have right there, it looks like you were going for like a scholarly shoe, almost.
Yeah, some sort of loafer.
Right, a loafer. That's what I was looking for. What did you try to emphasize with maybe that choice of shoe? What drew you to that kind of a design? Was it because he had mentioned he was like a teacher, or do you think it just suited the character? Or was
Yeah,
there...
he wanted to look kind of like a professor in
Right.
his attire.
And when you decided to put him on that table and everything, did you have something in mind before getting the color and the shading in?
In mind for...
Like the direction you were wanting to go with that table and the chair. Like, was there anything maybe you thought you were going to put in there but didn't end up putting in there? Like
No, not really.
So you just knew that you wanted to have the table there with a little plant, and then
I wanted to keep it fairly simple for the
Right.
foreground because the focus is supposed to be on him.
Right. When he requested the photo, what made you choose the atmosphere for the background?
He didn't specifically ask for it. I know that he was going for some sort of town or city scene where you're looking into a cafe. He wanted his character to be drinking coffee, so that's something that I incorporated.
I think if I remember correctly, he also wanted to have something above his ear, and that's why there's the...
Yes, he wanted his character to have a cigarette, and part of his personality was that he liked to tuck one behind his ear.
There you go. So that's a little bit of style that he wanted to have accomplished that you were able to comply with. So let's go into the coloring parts. Was there any direction that you were going with the coloring? I mean, aside from knowing his colors, but like when it comes to your choices for his vest, his shirt, his pants, and then the colors you were going to use eventually in the background.
He mentioned liking earth tones, so I tried to go with something like that.
Gotcha. So that's why you stuck with like the murky blues and the sort
For
of
the cafe itself?
Right, for the cafe and then for himself. The vest itself is this rich forest green color that you had originally. I think it was almost like a drab green, and then you highlighted it to have a little bit more vividness to it. Was there anything else that you were like? Was there anything else that you were going for idea-wise that didn't end up happening with colors, or were you just kind of? I have a good idea of what I'm doing, so I'm just going to stick with that kind of a palette.
I didn't pick out the colors beforehand, so I wasn't basing off the scheme. I wasn't trying to build off of colors themselves. I kind of like to incorporate things as I go.
Mm-hmm.
And I know there are a few artists out there that like to follow the color theory rules.
Right.
If you want to explain what that is.
Right. So color theory basically talks about primary, secondary, and tertiary colors, where you have your base colors that dominate the scene overall, your secondary colors that help accent the scene either by contrasting or complementing those primary shades, and then tertiary colors that are much smaller but a bit more striking to the image itself. What would you say your tertiary colors were for this image to make it more striking or popping? Do you think that you had anything that helped make it pop more outside of the blues and the greens? Because to me, it kind of seems like the whites you had on him.
Well, the lighting elements also.
Mm-hmm.
After placing the flats, I wanted to make sure that there were pops of color on each side to kind of round it out a bit more.
Was there any reason for the Argyle kind of pattern that you had there?
Well, he's a professor, and the first thing I think when there's a sophisticated, nerdy look, I think Argyle.
I mean, it really
I don't know if
work.
that's too typical or cliche, but...
Even so, I mean, the way that it is applied, it looks really well. It looks natural. It does give just enough accent to give him a more professor-y look, and it really does help accent his personality, whether intended or unintended. It does make it pop a little bit more, and it's those subtle details that really help tell the story. So, that said, now, regarding just the way that you portray your style itself, I remember you telling me that your initial start for the comic, like when you made my OC and everything, you mainly wanted to keep it simple and to work with more angular characters for your style?
Yes, I wanted to try something a bit different from what would be considered normal, I guess.
Right.
Usually when you draw anthros, you want them to be soft and cuddly,
That tends to favor most of the furry art that you see around. Everything's all rounded, soft, cartoony. It doesn't. There's not a whole lot of points on the different portrayals of those characters.
I think it's because artist wants to kind of emphasize the characters being touchable.
Right. Approachable, touchable,
yes.
extroverted, even though they themselves typically, not always, are introverted. And having something that is more soft and cuddly tends to be more heartwarming and open for people to want to reach out to. Like a stuffed teddy bear or something.
Yeah.
You didn't want to do that.
No.
No.
But I feel like I've kind of been caught in the middle with how my style direction has been going recently.
So can you, just for an example, let's pull up my character, because that was one of the first ones where you were trying that sample.
Okay.
My character is both in the comic and the character that I use now for my OC for Paradox Tomorrow, the Dox Fox. You'll see that there's minimal rounded edges, unless there has to be, to accent things like fur or tufts, and even then, there's not too many curves inside of it. And you'll notice too that the coloring scheme doesn't vary a whole lot.
And I wanted to stick with that, but there were certain parts of it, like the hair, which I felt were ending up a bit too blocky, and I kind of wanted to soften that slightly.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see if I can pull this up here.
Sure.
And there you go.
There we are. Perfect. Yep. This is one of your early projects. I think one of the first ones that was actually towards the comic.
Mm-hmm.
And you did this because you love me.
Well, yes, of course.
Right.
But I also drew a lot of inspiration from you. So.
Mm-hmm. If I remember correctly, when you were explaining it to me, you said that my character just happened to coincide so well with the comic idea that you had.
Yes.
What of my character, like, what would you say complemented it so much? Like, what outside of my personality, and I'm not trying to self-gloat or anything, I'm sure that that's what's being portrayed right now, but what angled my character and the way I portrayed him to your comic? Like, how would you think, what made you feel like there was a connection between the story you wanted to tell and what I was...
Your character...
You don't have to censor, by the way. You can just let it all out, so...
I'm not censoring anything.
Okay.
I mean, a lot of it does have to do with your personality.
Okay.
I just have to put that out there. Because what I had in my head originally was more noir-esque, with a post-apocalyptic vibe. But you also really like that style.
Right.
But you're so quirky.
I can definitely be quirky.
And I could just... I really could see that kind of character brightening up the world a lot more. Oh, are we having problems?
No. I had to do a little bit of moderation while we were talking.
Oh, okay.
Bots come in and they start sending links that aren't... they're a bit deceptive. They're doing things that aren't belonging there. Nonetheless.
You naughty bots. Go away.
We like for you to watch, but we don't want you to submit things like that. They can be hurtful to our viewers. I should probably see about changing where hyperlinks can be sent, because if that's going to be a thing, then we need to see about adjusting that. Anyway, going back to the task at hand, though, if I remember correctly, too, most of the comic itself is based off of Nordic tones. What?
I wanted to keep it sci-fi, but I also felt the need to draw from... I don't want to say... My train of thought is waning. I'm sorry.
It's okay. No, I know it's getting late, and what was it that drew you to some of the Nordic things, based off of you saying that you liked the noir feeling and that post-apocalyptic? I know Nordic themes lend to that very well.
I like medieval things in general, but Celtic and Nord in particular, I'm usually quite drawn to.
I mean, it does lend itself very well, given that the Yggdrasil is inside of it. That's the tree of life, for those who don't know Nordic stuff. And then the several different animals and the primalistic nature of Nordic tones. They lend very well from the Viking lore.
I would say it draws from it, but it doesn't lean too heavily into Nordic lore.
It just takes those hints and runs with it. Gotcha. So, and then, are you doing commission work now?
I have one that I'm currently doing for a friend, and I'm in probably like 30% mark of getting it done.
You're not willing to show it off just yet, though?
No, not just yet. There's some things that I would really like to change up with it first before I feel comfortable showing it.
So there's nothing wrong with progress and then changing the representation of what it is right now. So that being said, understanding that it's not the final representation, but it's a first draft of sort, would that calm you or ease you up into showing what you have so far, knowing that it's not, it shows the progress that you're going through, and you can maybe talk about what is...
I don't feel like there's enough there for me to really show off right now.
I see.
So.
Okay. That being said, what we'll do now, since we're running a little bit behind, I was afraid we would be zimming through things really, really quick, but we're actually, my schedule has helped me stay the course, so we're not zipping through things, and I'm not getting distracted. Huzzah!
Huzzah!
How about, now that we have this show going on, and we need to do something to represent the fan base, or not necessarily the fan base, but just the viewers in general, what would you say to maybe designing something to represent both this show and the viewers who would be watching it? How about creating or sketching an original character?
I'd be all for it, but I'd feel more comfortable if there was some participation.
Absolutely. So, this is where we are going to point to you, the different viewers that are out there right now. We would like your input into helping to create an original character for this show that we can utilize and basically kind of like a mascot. So, what we're going to do is I can set up a straw poll, I think. Let's see here. Yes, I do. I can set up a straw poll. And I just want to get an idea of what you think, what kind of character we should make. Now, our comic is based on mammalians, so rather than giving out all the different races and stuff like that, how about in the chat for Discord or for Twitch itself, how about you write down what kind of creature the mascot should be, and I'll throw out a couple ideas, and then we can just vote to see what you think. If you would like to submit any ideas about what you think the mascot should be, by all means, put it in the chat right now or send it to me on Discord so that we can see about creating something together. So we'll start doing that. In the meantime, while we start getting some feedback from the viewers, how about we do a little challenge? Now, I know you and I both watch Drawing with Jazza quite a few times.
Mm-hmm.
And one of his things that he would do quite a few times would be the 10-1-1 challenge. That is you have 10 minutes to draw something. You have then 1 minute to draw something. And last but not least, you have 10 seconds to draw something. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to find a randomizer. And with that randomizer, I am going to give you a description of a person.
A person.
Or item or object or thing or something. And we'll have you see about creating it within that time limit. And I'll put a little timer on it. Let's see here.
I'm not sure how good our barriers are working, by the way. I do see a lot of feedback coming from my mic from your end over there.
I think a lot of it, too, is the little girl behind you typing.
No, I noticed that it's following the wave.
Maybe, I guess.
You got some puppy problems.
A little bit, yeah. I think the equipment itself is really going to help with, because we kind of got a little bit of a sound shield to try and help with some of the.
It's dampening it, but I still notice that it's picking you up.
Yeah, just a bit.
So, apologies if there are echoes going on.
Yeah, we are working on some solutions. We have one in mind. We just can't. We can't do anything about it until paydays happen. So we'll see about implementing some fixes here soon. We know what we want to do. We just actually have to see about doing it. Let's see, character creator. No, I don't want that. That's different. Let's see. Character generator. Okay, cool. Let's see here. We're gonna do a quick character generator. That's what we'll do. Honey, let's...
Do you want to just use the Jazza app that I have?
Well, you could do that too. I was gonna find
Well, I
something
can let
a
you
little bit
play with
different.
it if you want.
Well, I was gonna say, what would you rather draw, a male or a female?
It doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter, so one of both, okay. It's weird. I clicked on this thing and it didn't show me. Oh, I probably, because I'm blocking it. I think one of my blockers is stopping it from happening, but nonetheless, that's fine. Well, yeah, we'll use your generator here, and then I'll let you know what we got. Custom.
Don't use the custom because I've already filled it up, and apparently you can only have one.
Right. Okay. So, what kind of thing you want to do? You want to do an environment, a character challenge, or a copy challenge, or a design mix challenge? You're more of a character artist yourself, right?
Yeah, I would say so.
Okay.
More over environments, although I can do them. I definitely like drawing figures better.
Okay. So I'm gonna put it at 12 minutes so that you have 2 minutes to absorb what you want to do. Your thing is going to be a coach that is upside down and wearing thick glasses.
I'm sorry.
Yep, that's what you're going to do. You have a coach that is upside down who is wearing thick glasses. That is your challenge.
Oh, lordy.
So, the challenge for this, as I was mentioning earlier, is it's sort of a versatility test to see how well you are with just kind of dealing with random elements, whether it's direction or anything else.
All right. Tell me that stuff again, because...
Okay.
Wait, hold on.
Sure.
1 second.
You gonna write it down on the thing?
Coach who
Yep.
is upside down.
Upside down, and he wears thick glasses. Now, it could be any character or any species that you want. We won't limit you there. You can do whatever you want. Maybe you want to do an otter. Maybe you want to do an elk or something. You know, by all means. Whatever you like. Oh, that's cool. Nevo is watching. Hey, Nev. How you doing?
Hi, Nev.
I hope you are not in those fires. Oh, wait. No, you're in New Zealand. That's right. You are surrounded by water. You're safe.
No, part of my family's in Australia, though.
You're probably getting a bunch of the smoke, though. Isn't that right? Probably coming from across the pond, seeing all that smoke. Man. That's terrible that's happening over there. Okay, your 10 minutes is going to start.
I don't like this.
I know you don't like this. That's part of the uncomfortable part of it. So all you, as far as I'm concerned, no one else is here. It's just me and you. We're just gonna doodle, and we're not going for perfect. We're just going for, we're just going for fun. Okay, honey? That's all we're doing. It's just for
Why
fun.
not?
So you have 10 minutes starting now. Okay. Now, as you're doing this, kind of give us an idea of like what your thinking is. What are you, while you're doodling, while you're drawing, kind of think out loud. What are you trying to establish right now?
Now, mind you, I'm not going to go ahead and flip the canvas. I'm going to go ahead and just draw him straight upside down.
Oh, you're going to go for the challenge. Oh, see, that's what I like to see.
When I envisioned the coach, though, I envisioned him with a rope around him. You know, one of those ropes that they make you climb in PE.
Oh, okay. So with all the knots and stuff on it.
Yeah.
You see it like wrapped around his foot, around his waist.
I see him tied up in it.
Okay.
I guess his kids just don't really like him much. So
maybe he was trying to show off, and he got a little too careless and slipped.
Maybe.
That could be something. I think I remember a coach that was doing that. He was a bit of a meathead. I was in junior high at the time, and he was doing this rope climb. He had a harness and everything for us to be safe, so that if someone fell, they wouldn't get like brain damage or anything like that. Well, he decided not to do that, and we had the knotted ropes. They were the big cast lines for like boats and stuff, right? That way you could actually have a grip on it. Oh, they tore up your hands though if you slipped. But he was going to show that he could do it without the safety line, and he could do it in a good amount of time, because we just weren't cutting it for him. And he got up to about halfway through it, and his sneaker slipped on one of the knots. As he was trying to push up, it caused his leg to kick out, and I guess that was enough to throw off his balance. The rope caught him, but it went all the way around his waist. And so he was just kind of twisted around from his waist. He didn't go upside down, but he was kind of sideways, wrapped in the middle of this rope. And he...
Should his arms be behind his back? I don't know. I'm not really...
Maybe an idea. Here's a thought. Maybe you can make him try to look like he did it on purpose. So he's trying to flex by putting his hands behind his back or behind his head. You know, like, hey, look at me.
Or no, he's just kind of like accepting it, but trying to make it look like it was supposed to happen that way, I guess.
Right, there you go.
So he's got his arms just kind of like, everything's gonna be okay.
There you go. That's one way you can look at it, sure. So we're at the 7-minute mark.
I don't know, cheesy smile.
That would be good. Are you going for a particular species with this, or are you just going to make it a person, or?
I don't know. I'm kind of brain dead right now.
Okay.
Because of work. Just.
Right.
Kind of.
We won't disclose what you do for work, but take it from me that it is a stressful job, and it does require a lot of attention, and it will take a number out of anyone. So, I do not blame you for feeling tired at all. Luckily, though, tomorrow you get to sleep in a little bit. You don't have to wake up nearly as early, and you don't have to be as stressed out. So, that's always good.
Let's see.
So we've got, from what I'm understanding, you have your basic lines set down so that you can figure out where you want to do your line work. You're probably not going to figure putting color in it at this point, right? You're just going to stick with sketch.
I don't think I want to.
Yeah, I think just doing black and white right now should be fine. So, major outline. That should be fine. While she's working on this, for those of you who are watching, we still haven't received any input regarding an original character. If that doesn't happen tonight, that's fine. We don't have to do that, but you know, we do want to promote some interactivity. That way, you're not just sitting there watching and thinking that this is just a two-person show. So, if you do have any ideas or you want to ask any questions to Spyri, let us know. Just submit a message either in Discord if you have my name in there, or for anyone else through Twitch itself. I'm watching the chat and moderating it so that we don't have bots and other stuff going on.
Mind you, I'm going pretty slow for 10 minutes here, and I'm not really even very detailed at the moment.
That's okay. You're doing what you can, and just do as much as you can. You don't have to. Yeah, there is a bit of an echo, and I think that's coming from just the way that we have our audio at the moment. We're trying some stuff to try and minimize the echo, but it's still kind of happening. We do have a remedy for it. We do just have to wait for paychecks to come in. So we're working with what we can right now, and I'm trying to keep myself quieter so I don't get picked up nearly as much on Spy's end. Her microphone is new. Mine is not as new. So hers is a bit more sensitive. Oh, you gotta go with the... Oh, there she is. Hey, Dev. Welcome back. Moved over to the computer. Welcome back. Glad to have you over here. New channel, getting the cobwebs out. Trying out our new series that we're doing. Currently, we're doing a 10-minute, 1 minute, and 1 second, or 10-second challenge.
Jazza makes this look easy.
He does make it look easy. But that's part of the fun of it, is you trying to, yeah, we've missed you too, Nev. We're glad that we can do something within your time zone that we don't have to hope that your availability is around. You can actually listen to this on the phone or whenever, and we can have a set schedule for it too. Yay! Okay, not to pump the brakes on you, but you're at the 3-minute mark now.
Oh, jeez. That's not good.
Well, why don't you take care of the big lines first, and then worry about the details. Because I see that you're working on like the different glasses, the eyebrows. You're doing the hair upside down now. Yep, you can do it. Nev is giving you a big old cheer. You can do it. Absolutely, I know you can.
I'm also getting distracted here. Somebody wants attention.
Well, that somebody needs to be patient. While you work on that. Done, we'll give you a hug and kiss. But we're doing a show right now. So, get cleaned up. Go on. Go. Dad duties. Had to send the little one off to get her shower and stuff ready for school tomorrow and all that good junk. So, yay!
This isn't going well.
Well, you're getting close. You got 1 minute now to finish up the major lines, so.
Oh, God.
You can do it.
No.
You're almost done.
This isn't going well at all.
It's not going too bad. You're almost there. You just got a couple lines to finish. You don't have to go with completeness. You just need to get the idea across. That's all.
I don't know. It feels awkward for me to not touch and retouch and...
Yeah, that's what you're used to, absolutely. And I think any artist who's going out of their element is going to feel a bit jarred by doing something that is not part of their normal method. And that is time. Just for completion's sake, just so you know that you finished it, how about we give you a couple extra moments to finish the major lines, and then we'll move on to the 1 minute challenge where you really have to just kind of put stuff down.
I don't know. You can keep talking if you want to.
Yeah, absolutely. Nev says that the fuzzy mustache that you gave to him is making him giggle, or making her giggle. Excuse me. She can knock me in Discord for saying he. That totally slipped out. I was thinking of someone else, and I said he, and now people are offended, and I botched that one. That was me. Totally me. There you go. That's enough. And then the pant. I think all we need now for that is just the the feet, and then the rope that's actually ensnaring him. Man, look at that foot. That's a big foot.
And it's further up.
Also, Nev, thank you for following. Appreciate that. I know you followed on some of our other channels, but we're gonna make this one a bit more of a we're gonna make this a bit more of our operating channel. But nonetheless, thank you for the follow. It brings us one more follow closer to 50. That way we can get our channel affiliated and start working towards an actual partnership and stuff. Gray. Hey, Gray. I'm glad to see you over here.
This is awful.
Gray says, this reminds me of Alex Trebek before he removed his mustache and glasses.
Oh, God.
So you've portrayed something very well. If it's reminding someone of another actual famous person, then yeah, you've done a good. You've done a good. All right, I think that is where we can call it right there.
Goody.
That should be enough. Wolf says that it's a young Albert Einstein. Which I can totally see that. As a young Albert Einstein, he gets hung up trying to teach something about gravity and the theory of relativity or something, and whoops! I can see that happening. Okay, well, as part of the challenge, we're now going to move from 10 minutes to 1 minute. So how about we take that image that you have, shrink it, and put it up in one of your corners.
That's such a terrible example for 10 minutes.
Hey, well, it's your official first attempt at that. So I think that is okay. Oh, Ash would like to ask, do you need a website? He is willing to offer you his time and expertise.
Who?
Ash, which is Nev's husband.
Well, we also got an offer for assistance from Wolfsinger recently.
That we did.
Too.
I think that means we'll have to see what kind of conclusion we can get toward. Oh God.
You all right?
Yeah, something's just not swallowing correctly. Hold on. Yeah. You know how you get like a, I don't want to be gross here, but you know how like a little fleck can get like stuck in the back of your throat? Yeah, I think that's what kind of speared through my uvula.
Oh.
So. But as for the website, it's a very kind offer. We just need to, we know that we have a friend who also offered space and has been working on something. Maybe there's something we can do to collaborate, but we'll have to talk about that some other time to see what we can do. But yeah, again, yeah, thank you for the offer.
Yes,
and
thank you.
we're glad to see that both of you are okay, and you guys are still alive. It's been a long time since we've talked to you. I know.
Still alive.
I'm goofing.
You jerk.
Okay, so how comfortable do you feel with the having observed your work?
I
now?
don't.
You don't feel
I feel
comfortable at all.
extremely uncomfortable.
It's not as complete as you would like it to be. I get that. No. Well, now you have 1 minute to complete it. So I'm going to give you 1 minute and 30 seconds. The 30 seconds is for you to plan on what to do. And when I say go, that's when you're going to start sketching it, okay? So 30 seconds to plan, and then I'm going to say go. And when I say go, that's when you're going to start acting on your lines, okay? So 30 seconds starts now. Start visualizing. Oh, wait, that's a half hour. That's not good. Stop. No. Not 30 minutes. Not 30 minutes. No. 1 minute, 30 seconds. There we go. That's better. Just be glad I didn't put on 1 hour and 30 minutes. You'd have at least maybe 2 pictures there. Okay. So, 1 minute and 30 seconds. 30 seconds to start planning your actions starts now. Think about where you want to put your lines. How do you want to...
Well, I mean, we're pretty much following the other one. So
right. And so right now you're just kind of putting your reference lines about where you want stuff to be, right? Basically?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's fine. You have 5 seconds, 4 seconds, 3 seconds, 2 seconds, 1 second, and begin. All lines.
Oh, shit. I just lost it. Okay.
Yeah, you did.
No.
Okay, well, I will pause it real quick. I'll put it back at 1 minute, and you can just start from 1 minute, okay? Okay, starting from 1 minute. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. All lines. Okay, you're at 50 seconds. You're doing good. You're doing good. You're at 40 seconds.
No.
Keep going. You can do this. I believe in you. I have faith.
Oh, God. It's becoming deformed.
You have 30 seconds. You're at 20 seconds. Now you're at 10 seconds.
The pen's acting up on me now, too.
Oh, is it now?
Yeah.
Well, 5 seconds.
Not good. Not good.
And that is time. That is time. You got a lot further than the other one, considering the time, so that turned out pretty good. I gotta say, you nailed the references pretty well. I think we just lost one line out of it, but nonetheless, you did pretty good. You're getting cheers from Nev saying, Spyri, Spyri. So while you are working on how you want to plan out your 10 seconds, because that's a big crunch. You're basically going to slather lines down. But while you start working on your 10 seconds, I'm going to ask the audience. We are looking to see about creating an original character to represent our Heavy ARTillary show. And we'd like your input. We're looking to make a character. Doesn't matter if it's male or female. But we want it to be a particular animal. We would like it to be having some characteristics that would represent you as the audience. So, if you would like to suggest species of animals, whether they're male or female, if they have particular characteristics, like, I don't know, the blackening under the eyes like football players have, or a helmet with little paintbrushes for bullets or something, if you have an idea, let us know, and we can start working on that OC for the last half of our show here, so that we can have a character for you guys to represent our show. Now, honey?
Yes.
You ready? Probably not, but are you ready to try?
I'm ready to accept my punishment here.
Oh. Okay. You have 10 seconds, okay? On your mark, get set, go. Get those down.
Wow.
10 seconds. 5 seconds. And that is time. That is time right there. got turned into a stick figure. Look at that. So we have a couple suggestions for our heavy artillery. We have Wolfsinger, who is suggesting we get a gun bunny.
A gun bunny?
Uh-huh. Because he justifies it as that's what we called the artillery guys when he was in the army. And then we also have Nev, who is suggesting a rainbow parrot.
Aw, cute. You gonna put those up on a straw poll then?
We could do that. What we could do is we can start gathering ideas now, and then if we get a larger audience in the future, we can take those suggestions and then put them to a larger vote. And then what we can do for the remainder of the time, let me see, let me check my notes. What else do I have here? That's right. We were going to suggest some names for that character. So we have a name, maybe what their background is. We could develop the character a little bit, but yeah, we still have a lot of things that we need to see about actually building up for it. So, but we have either a parrot or we have a gun bunny for a couple of thoughts and ideas. Let's see. What are you in the mood for trying next? Do you want to do another challenge, or do you want to try something else completely? Or
I'd like you to try this.
You want me to try this?
Yeah. Why not? You're gonna have to switch chairs with me though.
I have to switch chairs. Okay.
Uh-huh.
That's how this works.
Yes.
Okay. I guess I could do that. That would be fair. So, gosh, I haven't worked on a Wacom tablet in so long. As long as I know Control Z, right, to undo. That's all I need to know, right? Okay, so she's gonna reset the boards, and then I'm going to suck. That's what's gonna happen. I'm gonna suck. All right. So switching
And
chairs.
also, Wolf, if you're still watching, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to hop out during your set. It's just my laptop's having some weird issues right now. But I've been trying to get back in. I don't know what's going on.
Oh no!
Where'd you end up putting my phone?
Oh, I put it in between. There it is, right there. There's your phone. It's also almost dead, so. Yeah, just a little bit. Oh man, I am.
Got enough juice that we can at least pull up the app again.
Okay, I'm gonna turn the gain down on this thing because that's why part of the echo is happening. I think. Okay. Okay, let's see here. Top definition: gun bunny. A sarcastic name for soldiers who will call other soldiers who handle artillery in the military.
I like that.
We could probably make a gun bunny. I think. I don't think you've made any OCs yet with
I haven't made any bunnies, that's for sure.
Yeah, you haven't made any bunnies. So I'm gonna turn the gain down on this a little bit. Since I know my voice can project a little bit, I think what I'll do is I'll just turn the gain down a little bit, and I'm gonna move this deflector a little bit too. Okay. Son of a
Sorry.
stuff is knocking down. It's okay. It's my own fault. This is what I get for shoddy production value right here. Okay, I think I got this set in a way where it's not going to be too problematic. Okay, cool. Now then, this is my. There we go. And then, gosh, I haven't done this in so long. Okay, so
Okay.
I just had to do a little test, yeah.
Sketch there.
Figure out where things were. Okay, so I think I have an idea. Where's the movement tool? There it is. Okay. I just want to give myself a little bit more space. Oh, is that it right there? There we go. Kind of. Maybe. There we go. Okay. I think that should do. I think that's the clicker. There we go. How do we? Right click. There we go. Okay, cool. I full disclosure, I have not.
It's a new program.
I have not mucked with this program at all, so I am used to Photoshop, and I'm a loyalist to Photoshop. Trying to do this is a little bit different. Okay, so what do I have as a subject?
Okay. Your subject is a lady that came from the Victorian era
Oh,
who has a hipster haircut.
No. Give me a different subject.
You want something else?
No, yeah.
All right.
Give me something completely. You're gonna give me Victorian.
A mad kid that is very exotic with the ability to fly.
A mad
A
kid?
mad kid that is very exotic with the ability to fly.
I cannot picture that. Give me a different one. I'm not trying to be pricky.
A baby that is from medieval times who is wearing high heels.
What the f... Okay. Let me see if I get this. A baby?
That is from medieval times who's wearing high heels.
High heels, medieval baby.
Yes.
Oh man, this is gonna look trashy. Okay. I think I'll go with that.
Okay.
I think I'll go with that.
Let me pull up a timer.
Yeah. How do I wanna approach this? I think. Okay, yeah, I think I have an idea of what I want to do. I think.
Let me know when you're ready.
As far as the program, what program is this called? This is called Krita.
Mm-hmm.
Krita. It's a free program. It's supposed to have similar, if not the same, features as Photoshop. So, Krita. Krita. Now then. Okay. Well, I think I've delayed as long as I can, so...
All right. Get ready.
Uh-huh.
3, 2, 1.
What am I getting vector layers for? What?
You're on the wrong tool.
No.
It's okay.
What
We can start you over here.
Yeah, cause
Here, let go for
yep. Okay.
Alright.
Start me over. Slight mishap there. Sorry.
Alright. Once
Um,
again.
Yeah. Well, she actually was using GIMP exclusively for a time before I got her
Yes.
Photoshop.
I still use GIMP. I use it mostly for editing photos and just graphics in general. But for drawing, I use Krita.
Right. Okay.
And I know that there's a lot of other suggestions out there, but I've personally enjoyed using Krita, and I'll be sticking to it unless I find something better. But for now, that's what I like to use.
Okay.
Alrighty, 1, 2, 3, go.
Oh God, that's. This is really choppy for line work, but I mean it's enough to give me some sort of direction here. So she's practiced in all this art stuff. I haven't touched the pen since college, so I'm going like really rudimentary kind of looks right here. So things are gonna look super chunky. That's partly by design, but that's also also kind of like where my sketching style comes from a little bit. So I think we'll have a little pike up here just to give me an idea. Okay, so how do I see? Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to see about adding another layer. Okay. And then, so I'm going to...
I like how you're blocking out all your shapes there.
Trying to, anyway. See, that's where I get the problem. Is like when I actually start applying pressure.
That's a chubby baby.
Yeah, that's the idea. He's gonna be a chubby baby.
That's a chonker.
He's gonna be a chonker, chonkalonker.
What if we have a chubby baby? Are you gonna...
Well, truth be told, if my mom hasn't said so already, I was a chonker baby.
Were you?
Yeah, I was a Buddha baby.
You were also super blonde when you were little.
I was a towhead through and through, that's for sure. So, and then I gotta figure out how I'm gonna do the high heels part. Let's see.
Got plenty of time.
God, I'm gonna little fat fingers.
You even got the kneecaps in there. Are those knees?
Sure, those are knees.
Oh, he's got some moobs. Baby's got moobs.
He's got moobs. He's got the poke out belly. I feel like he needs to have
Actually, from this distance, it looks like a very chubby dog head. I'm sorry. It's just this angle is
No,
not
you're right.
good
You're
to
right.
look at
This is he's definitely in there for sure. I think he's gonna have like a big spiral lollipop for a spear with a pike at the very end of it. There we go. That's God. This is so cruel. Okay.
He is a Spartan baby.
Yeah. So I like giving the little shredder mask.
Aw.
Angry baby.
I could see this little guy as one of those side-scrolling characters, jumping, doing platforming and whacking things with his little lollipop there.
Whoa, that's too fat. There we go. I'm also
Well,
trying
he's
to.
a baby. If you make him big, then it looks like he's wearing mommy's high heels.
Well, maybe, yeah, but if it doesn't look proportionate, then what's the point, right?
I guess. But then he's just going to look like a big man-child.
I mean, that's
It's a
not too
baby.
far off. Let's see if I can pull this off. Probably not, but. Oh, I'm trying. This is definitely not. Okay, so if I can close that. Oh, God. Okay, so that's where I'm at. Okay, cool. Let's see. So we got the little spiky. This is what I was going for. What else do I want to do? I got the majority of it, so that's cool. That little bit of a chonker. Let's just round out the belly a little bit more. Okay, and then we need to put the little pike here for that. And I need to finish his hand, which kind of got blad over. I think I can get an erase. Well, no. Erasing defeats the purpose of the...
You've got 4 minutes and 20 seconds.
Jeez, really? I got that much time left?
Yeah, I know, right?
What else am I going to
You're
do?
doing so much better than I did.
Jeez. Well, yeah, I'm not trying to go... I know that my art's going to be crap, so I figured I'd go with the...
I got way more detail going on.
No, you have preciseness where I've got just junk going on. Let's see, there's the pot belly.
Where's his diaper?
This thing here is kind of his diaper. I'm kind of just...
Oh, it needs to sag more.
Well, I mean...
You know, he's got his due to do.
Yeah, but I've already got a bunch of lines in those places, so it's kind of hard to do that. I think what I'll do is... emphasize a little bit more of the eye. You know, and that's one good way to screw it up. Look at that. Jeez. Little turban thing, right?
Oh, it's a Miss Genghis Khan?
Something like that, I guess. I don't
Miss
know.
Genghis Khan Jr., Wolf says.
Something for the ear, I guess.
Well, I guess baby needs a bow then if it's a girl.
Baby is part of the Toad Kingdom, so we're gonna have his little mushroom hat. He's a defender of the Marios, I guess. I don't know. Just or Princess Peach. So, and I'm really screwing up this part of the mask. All right. What else do I want to do? I guess I could tighten up a little bit on the high heel.
You can definitely tell they're high heels.
Sort of. These are definitely stilettos. These things are meant to pierce you.
I still think he looks like a man-child. Chubby baby.
I almost refrain from wanting to add too much detail, because then trying to do all of that. Granted, I'm going to be reducing the detail when I do the 1 minute, but I think I'm at a point right now.
2 minutes and 8 seconds.
So just, you know what? He's gonna be a little hairy baby. He's got little. He's Italian, so he's got a bunch of hair on his chest. You know.
Hey, is this Mario's baby?
Sure. It's Mario's.
Mario and Peach's baby?
Something like that, yeah. He got disowned, and after being disowned, he decided, he was going to take the best of both worlds. So he was going to take the hat, he was going to keep his jeans, and he was going to steal Princess Peach's shoes. And so he goes out fighting crime, against the Koopalings and stuff like that. Because
name, then.
I don't know. I think I've gotten.
Somebody come up with a name.
This is Chongert the Dim. That's what he is. Chongert. He's not Chungus, he's Chongert. He's the low-fat yogurt of chunginess. So he's Chongert. Chongert the Dim. There's Chongert. He's not the OC, but he's
45 seconds.
What am I going to do with 45 seconds? Considering, you know what? Screw it. He's actually been stabbed by a spear because he was a naughty baby.
He's not holding it. It's gone right through him.
Yeah, it's right through him. He was trying to. He figured that the easiest way to get to.
Bits of candy spraying out of his belly then.
Exactly. Little clicks right here. Wait, that looks like milk. Never mind. Gosh, we should do a little bit of blood down here then. Chongus is not feeling. Chongert is not feeling too good because he decided he wasn't gonna go get the lollipop from the top end. He would go from the bottom end up. Like one of the.
Oh, that's time.
Yeah, that is time. Jeez. So there's Chongert the Dim. Wow. This is my worst creation yet.
I think it's amazing.
Oh God, no. Like, you complain that you can't get stuff done. This is why I don't do stuff, because
but there's so much going on.
I know.
It's awesome.
We don't need that. Okay, so what I'm gonna do now is how do I resize this particular thing?
Let's see.
This guy? Oh, what? I didn't mean to zoom into him.
Gave him chest hair.
Yeah, I told you he's an Italian baby from Mario. He wasn't gonna deny his roots. All right, and then this is.
And then go ahead and make a new layer.
Hold on, I need a little bit of gray going on. Yep, a new layer. Right. Okay, so I got. Just need to move him again. Chongert the Dim. Let's put him here. Okay. Zoom in a little bit. And then the opacity for this, which was what? Where's the opacity? So I want to dim this down a little bit. Properties? Oh, opacity. Okay. bring it there. Okay, cool. Got it. So that should do it. Okay, cool. So, and then now I just click on the paintbrush tool. Ugh! 1 minute to recreate this mess. What did I do? Okay. Okay, so I need to, what am I going to do? I need to figure out how I'm going to try and, I put too much detail in. This is, see what happens when you get bored for 10 minutes and now you have the 1 minute pressure. Okay, cool. All right, I'll fling this together. I guess whenever you're ready, honey.
All right. In 3, 2, 1, go. 50 seconds. Thirty seconds. 20. 15. 10. 9. 8. 7. 6. 5. 4. 3. 2. 1. And that's time.
Okay, there. That happened.
Oh, what happened to his helmet?
It
I actually kind of like that shape better. It's interesting.
It transformed. No, I just realized the opacity on that layer is. No, I didn't want to. You know what?
Wait.
I just realized.
He doesn't have a diaper. He's naked.
Yeah, things happen when you're in a rush, And I just realized that I painted on the same layer as this one.
Oh. Well, that's okay. You can cut it and then shrink it down. Here.
Yes. That one? Okay, so I'm going to select it. Right. Okay, cool.
Then cut it and then paste it in its own layer.
Okay. And there. So this one, the opacity was going to be at there. Let's zoom back out a little bit. Learning different art programs is hazardous to my health. Okay, so, and then, oh no! I didn't want that. This, how do I deselect? Deselect.
Select.
Where?
Select.
Okay, and then deselect. Okay, cool, gotcha. Alright, and then I should be able to, no. This. There we go. He grew. How'd he grow? The resize tool.
Looks like a frame.
Looks like a frame. This guy. Okay, cool. Let's get him appropriately sized. I should hold shift so I can preserve his. Oh, God.
They're twins.
Yeah. Oh, okay, so this. I see what happened.
Tweedledum and Tweedledee.
Jesus. Okay, cool. All right, now that it. Oh, jeez. Okay.
Okay, let me pull the timer back up.
Oh, man. 10 seconds. This is. Oh, hold on. I need to get my pen tool back on. Otherwise, I'm going to really screw this up. As if this isn't a train wreck already.
I won't start without you.
Jesus. Okay, so. 10 seconds. 10 seconds to do all that. Jesus. Okay, well. When you're ready for me to get fired, you're just give me a countdown.
3, 2, 1, go. 3 seconds. 2 seconds. 1 second. Hey.
There, and then Wow, that's garbage.
You have so much more done.
Wow.
What do you guys think?
Let's. And I did it on the wrong layer again. God damn it. Okay. There. Select Control X.
Aw, I like his stance in that last one, too. He's leaning into it.
He's not leaning anything. He's basically dead on a pole. That's what happened. He died on the pole, and he just... Oh, man. There.
If you look at it cross-eyed, it almost looks like a chocobo head.
I suppose you could say that.
Yes, Nev. It looks like a chicken trying to fly.
Okay,
Sorry,
so
hon.
this one, and this one. Let's. Oh, that the pen is being detected. There we go. Okay, so let's select all of these guys
Or a
here.
witch on a broom. Yeah, I can see that.
What's that? No, Control V.
Except the witch has the broom in her belly button. Or through her chest in that last one.
There.
She's been impaled by her own broom.
And then I need this layer, or is it this layer?
Yay, they look so awesome. That should be our mascot.
Chungus the Dim, or Chungert the Dim.
And then we just slap
Make him
on
a bunny or
bunny
something?
ears, yeah.
I don't know if I can go through with having a medieval baby in diapers and high heels. I mean, it can be a gimmick character by all means. We can have him off to the side somewhere else, but not the official mascot. We'll have him like I don't know, maybe a stuffed animal or a chibi or something. I don't know. It's maybe Chungert the Dim is like, I'm here for your memes. Submit them. I don't know. God, this is like the worst that I've ever done. I am well out of practice.
We need to get you drawing more.
Yeah, and that's partly what this program is for, is to try and get me to draw more and do other things and see other people who can do 10 times better than I ever can. If there's one thing that I'm proud of, is that I'm able to take all the elements and then water it down in such a way where I can try and just make a rudimentary outline. But I knew I was going to get myself in trouble with this guy.
Nev says meme Groot.
Meme gut. Yep, that's what that is.
No, there's an R in there.
Is there a
There's
gut?
totally an R in there.
I don't see the R. Then again, I'm farther away from the screen, so I think that's what that is. Well, we're coming to the last 10 minutes of our show. We didn't get to do everything that we wanted to, but nonetheless,
I want to do some drawful.
we don't have enough time for drawful, unfortunately.
No.
But we did get through, like, maybe not everything that we wanted to do, but we did have the fun that we wanted to have in the end, and I'm glad I was able to be the comic relief for the part. I played my part naturally, so.
And you got some practice in.
I got some practice in. Very, very crappy practice.
But
well.
you still did better than I did.
I don't think so.
Totally
You had good detail and stuff. I have slop. This is the stuff you pull out of your grates from on the top of on top of your roof when you're trying to get all the leaves and crap out of the drains. That's what I've got right here. All right. Well, hopefully, next Tuesday we will be looking for anyone else who has drawing talent.
Then we can finally play some games.
Yeah, we can play some games too. We can have some fun with that, whether it's Drawful or some other stuff. Or we can do something similar to what Drawfee does, where they create a scenario and you have to create your solution through art. But yeah, if you have an art buddy that would like to see about participating in the show and if not necessarily participate in the show, but would like to be interviewed and do a showcase of their art, if you know anyone, or video, or arts and craft, or anything that you find artistically beautiful, if you know somebody and they would be willing to get asked some questions about what drives them, and then
Wolf says that he has several.
Oh, good.
Nev says Draingert.
Draingert. If you have that, let us know. Also, if you have art for yourself, mentioned before, down below the screen that you're watching right now is a Dropbox link. It's a public Dropbox link that we will go through daily, collect stuff, and then clear out so that we don't have a whole bunch of stuff. Please try to keep the images to JPEGs or PNGs.
Well, PNGs take up more space, so JPEGs, even though they dumb down the quality, they are better size-wise.
Please don't submit GIFs or MP3s or MP4s or things like that.
They'll take up space, and
if there's
you don't want to pay for Dropbox. We have enough stuff for
yeah, not yet. I don't mind paying for Dropbox, but
that's a later.
Not yet. But if you have examples that you want to, by all means, submit us your own versions. If you want to make Chungert,
totally feature them too.
if you want to make Chungert a thing and do your own little fan pictures of Chungert, you're welcome to do so. It'll probably look 10 times better than what I produced, but
I'm telling you, honey, he's gonna be the new mascot.
I don't know. We'll see. If someone else is capable of drawing a better Chungert, then I'll be happy with that. That's fine. I will claim creating him. I won't claim this as his ultimate form. That's for sure. Anyway, but yeah, artist friends, let us know if they would like to be interviewed and talk to us about what they do. We're going to do this on Tuesday next week, so it gives a whole 7 days to prep for it.
And we've got 2 other shows that are coming up on Thursday and Saturday. Do you want to let them know what they are?
Yep. On Thursday, we're going to be doing a show that is more in my league outside of art, and that is comedy. We call it The Last Gas because I have gas problems, and it just seemed fitting.
Oh, my goodness. You don't even know the half of it.
I have actually finally Dutch oven my wife maybe a couple weeks ago. It was pretty hilarious.
I'm surprised he hadn't done it sooner.
We've been married now for 2.5 years.
Yes.
And I only now finally Dutch ovened her, so that's a lot of restraint on my part. Anyhow, we are going to do The Last Gas where we're going to have a lot of fun. I think on the docket, what we're going to do is we're going to talk about a couple of funny things. We'll go through a Don't Laugh compilation. I have a couple of buddies who are from the boonies, and they have a very crude sense of humor. And they're going to submit pictures and videos for me to try and not laugh at. Spyri is also going to provide some pictures for me to not laugh at. So
you're not allowed to peek at them until the day.
So I'm going to do a reaction. Oh, gosh, excuse me. A little bit of a clog in my throat. Anyway, we'll be doing a Don't Laugh. We'll also be doing a Mad Libs just to get some practice in of trying to maintain character while reading something.
If I can find it, I really want you to read out the story that you made on one of our road trips.
Okay.
Because that was hilarious.
It was pretty hilarious.
We were laughing for like 5 minutes straight.
I forget which story it was, but I'm sure if we...
It was about a giraffe.
It's something about a giraffe.
Yes.
But we'll also try to do something similar to like what The Tonight Show with Jimmy Fallon does, where it's the Mad Lib Theater, and we actually portray characters, and we have to do Mad Libs as these characters without breaking character. So we'll try and do something like that in the future, but in the meantime, we'll just do some Mad Libs in general. Mm-hmm. And after that, we will do Don't Laugh, Mad Libs, and there was something else, but I'm blanking what else we would be doing. I think overall we're just going to try and look up funny stuff and see if we can find some videos, and we'll work on it from there. But yeah, that's Thursday, and then Saturday we're just going to game. We're going to have fun. Well, we might do some more Monster Hunter. We might do some Jackbox, Party Box to get everybody involved. we do have a third show that we want to do, that I've always wanted to do.
It's going to take a little bit of time to develop.
Yeah, that one's going to be asset heavy. It's going to need some extra elements needed to it. But nonetheless, thank you all for joining us tonight here for Heavy ARTillary.
Yes, thank you.
We are, like I said, we're still transitioning through all the stuff that we have implemented for it. We're still trying out a lot of different stuff. But, thanks for giving us the chance. And hopefully we can do better next time. Anyhow,
and
thanks
we'll
everybody.
have all of our assets up because like half of them are missing on
Indeed.
that screen there, and we just didn't have time to put them up after. So.
Indeed. So we'll get that fixed up. Everything that you see here is just partial, but we'll have some better stuff. And thank you all for joining us tonight, and have yourselves a good evening. Bye-bye from the Ducks Fox.
Bye-bye from Spy.
The SpyFry.
SpyFry.
Bye. All right, catch you later, guys.
Bye-bye.
All right, cut it off. We're done. Get it off. Get it off. Turn it off. Turn it off.